Yes, yes. Thank you for having me.
What's been up with you?
Shoot, just in the gym training. As always, preparing myself for this new year. It's going to be a great year. Staying busy and making a name for myself.
I'm about to say, have you had any breaks? Because I see you stay pretty busy in the gym. Definitely picking it up more so since this upcoming fight has been announced. But yeah, have you spaced out your, you mixed in some breaks, being inactive for 7 months now?
Definitely no breaks. For me, this is a lifestyle. So I've been continuous since my last fight in July. So I know how important it is and what I contribute to this sport. So definitely no breaks. I'm on and working.
Been dabbling with anything else besides boxing? There's been a little bit of modeling or just some looking into some different business ventures or relationships or anything?
Yeah, definitely doing some PR work outside the ring, working with Adidas Boxing, working on my brand is necessary. So yeah, just been doing a little more things outside the gym, speaking to the kids, encouraging, the youth, adults, and also with fitness. I'm really big with fitness and living a healthy lifestyle. So definitely been doing a lot of that.
Were you in New York to meet with Adidas Boxing, or was that something else?
Yeah, I was there last year. We did a photo shoot um, in New York for their new line coming out, their new boxing line for the U.S. So yes, I was able to go to New York. It was an awesome time there. Love the city. It was a great time.
I'm about to say, what's exciting about that part of it? Dealing with I guess marketing people and participating in something like that. Is there anything in that experience that stands out to you?
Yeah, I just love that they're giving women a chance. With women still coming up and rising in boxing. Adidas is a well-known brand, so them contributing to boxing is awesome, and including women. So I love that they're doing that.
All right, that's dope. Congratulations on that, and I look forward. When is this
Thank you.
line coming out?
Say that again.
When is this line coming out that they were working on, or is it already out?
Um, it's already out. Yes, it's already out. They have new training gear. The shoes are awesome. I love the shoes. Very comfortable. Different looks. We have an old school look. Definitely something to check out for.
Okay. So 7 months off. You've stayed busy. Did you expect to stay without a fight this long?
No, I definitely didn't expect for it to be this long, but the time was needed to reflect on myself mentally and what I want to do when I come back to the sport. So it was well needed. I didn't like the time off, but again, I used it to the best of my ability to take the time to really figure out how I want to come back this new year and conquer the super featherweight division.
All right. You just mentioned being in New York. I think you also had an opportunity to go out west to maybe L.A. and get in some time with Cecilia Breckus again.
Yeah, I actually got to go out there. I didn't get any work in with her. I was able to train alongside with her. So that was good. Just the atmosphere, being around her, being around with Jonathan Banks, and just feeling the good vibes out there, and just preparing myself again for my upcoming fight in February.
Okay. Has there been any changes with the team, or are you still working primarily with Banks, or has any changes in the corner?
Yeah, I'm training with Circuit Hill now.
Okay. Okay.
Johnson's still a part of my team. Just made a few changes for myself for the new year.
Okay. Okay. So let's
Hmm.
let's let's get back to you. You mentioned reflecting back, and I think you might have been alluding to the July 28th fight down in Louisville. Um, you had your first loss, a split decision loss to Christina Linardatou. Have you gone back and checked that fight out at all?
Um, I tried to. There's a clip or two that I got to watch. I wasn't able to find him unless there's a link somewhere. But I'm more than happy to watch it again. But what I did watch was just like two clips of it.
I was able to check it. I would love to say I could figure out this young lady's name whose page I watched it on, but there's no way I could get back to it. But I honestly I could see I can see the decision falling that way, but I don't know. I didn't think you really lost that one. Um, what?
Yeah, I
Okay,
definitely didn't think I lost that. I do agree. Yeah, it was a split, but I definitely thought that I still had the edge of the fight. Um, but it is what it is, and moving forward from here. So definitely something that I was able to take from and learn from. Every loss is a lesson, and so um, I was able to take that and use that for my motivation.
how's it sitting with you? Because from what I pick up in speaking with you a couple of times and hanging out with you here and there at a couple of fights and whatnot, I mean, I know you're a very strong-willed person and positive, and then I can also see this competitive spirit and that you probably don't like losing. So, where are you at with this thing 7 months later, and then not being able to get back to work, and kind of rectify the situation as best as you could?
Again, being an
Hello, Alycia, you broke up a little bit.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you. You got to start over though.
Oh, okay. So, being an athlete and being competitive, yes, I hate losing. And at first, I'm like, dang, I got a loss in my record. I hated that, but I knew that I was going to learn from this, and this was going to help me grow as an athlete, as a boxer, and happy that I got it early in my career so that I can take that to be a set of motivation for me for my further fights. So, again, you always learn, and it was definitely a lesson. But yes, I hate losing, and yeah.
Anything that you guys discussed in the locker room, maybe the trip back up to Ohio and Detroit and whatnot, or anything specific that stood out in the fight to you that maybe just were flaws or something that you didn't adjust to, to give yourself the best a clear victory. One of the judges did have it for you, but is there anything that you guys discussed that maybe you just didn't capitalize on that night?
Yeah, definitely. I thought finding my rhythm was a little slow for me in the beginning when I was fighting. So the later rounds, I was able to find my rhythm, but that was something that I needed to already have planned when I went out there. Maybe this after the second round. So I would say finding my rhythm was something that I lacked early in the fight.
And is that something Linardatou, she was a little bit more physical and she had a really choppy work rate and kind of mixed it up. Is that something that kind of got or helped create the delay in you getting your rhythm?
No, not exactly. I knew that she was gonna come fight like that. It was just making adjustments to that was something that I had to do on my end that I later in the fight was able to get. So
Do you think? I mean, you're more of a cleaner fighter as far as sticking to your fundamentals and the jab and free flowing kind of offensively. Like I said, she was more choppy and
yeah, a little wild, which
yeah,
I was
wow,
was
right, exactly.
not really understanding of the judge's uh, what's the word, decision on that, because again, this is boxing and not a wrestling match. So,
Right. But if you
so
but if you encounter that in the future, is there anything differently a different way that you think you would handle it moving
oh yes,
forward?
definitely, definitely.
What would be the main
Again, like for
change?
that fight, those changes or just fighting someone on that type of fighting style, we definitely are working on making adjustments and knowing what to do better next time if we ever do fight someone like that again.
Okay, fair enough. You mentioned super featherweight. You'll be staying at super featherweight. No change there.
Um, we talked about maybe going down to 126, um, possibly, but definitely super feathers. So planted that we want to conquer. So just really depends.
Okay. Well, what's your thoughts on super featherweight? I recently had Tierra Brown on the podcast, and I checked out some of her fights, and just listening to her talk about the game, I was very impressed um, with her approach to the game and her improvement and everything. Michaela is making noise and is staying very active. She's getting a lot of exposure. You're up there. Just like when I look at this division, it seems like maybe 3 or 4 divisions up and below you guys. This just could seem like a real sweet spot as far as you guys all being young or younger, and just having brighter futures. I mean, featherweight seems like it might have a lot of experience in that bunch, but I think a lot of them are older. What's your thoughts on how competitive super featherweight could be?
I think super feather is definitely on the on the rise of being very competitive. I think there's a lot of girls in that weight class, a lot of competitive girls. You know, you have myself, Tierra Brown, um, like you mentioned, Michaela Mayer. I think those are fights that could be made and can be televised and well promoted if given a chance. So I think it's a well packed division that I think they're kind of overseeing because they're paying attention to, like the higher weight classes, but definitely well packed and very competitive.
Yeah, I think like you said, looking up at the higher weight classes, I just don't feel that the depth is there. I mean, I keep looking at Clarissa Shields and she keeps fighting. I'm like, where are the Americans? Where are the American women?
Right.
So like I said, with you guys all right there in this cluster, it just seems like almost similar to the men's welterweight division. That it's
Mhm.
that type of talent packed right there. So it'd be interesting to see, how you guys move apart and, actually when you guys do collide.
Yeah, I think that's a great comparison definitely to the welterweight division of the men. I think the super featherweight is definitely very competitive, and I think that they need to show more of that and show more of the women that are in those weight in that weight class.
All right, so you clocking back in here pretty soon. I'm very excited about the card. We were just talking about it a little off before we got on to recording offline or whatever. And coming up February, it's a Saturday, February 23rd, up in
Hmm.
Dearborn, Michigan, at the Performance Arts
Yes.
Center with Second to None Promotions. Be my second or third event checking them out, but it's a pretty deep card. I know some of it is still coming together. Right now, you're slated to face Rolanda Andrews, who's 9-8-1, but she's been inactive for a very long time. So, what's the mission? The team Baumgardner mission going into this one.
Our mission is to look good and be very entertaining. Again, boxing is an entertaining sport. No matter who you have in front of you, as long as you look good and you can perform well, I think that's important. And so that's our mission, just going out there looking good. This is my comeback fight from July. Veteran fighter. Yes, she's been off for a while, but we want to look good while doing that. So it's just making a statement for this fight.
Any chance to? I mean, with the I know you don't want to. I know the saying is you guys don't get paid for overtime, but and you don't want to leave the opportunity for an injury or anything that would set back future plans. But not knowing how she might come into this thing, I mean, would you be working on some things? Would you look to get some rounds, or you see the opening, you get it out of there as soon as possible?
It's definitely going to be a feel. Getting in the ring is a feeling for itself. So it's just really based off that night, that ring performance, just everything, the crowd. It just really all goes on from there. So can't really speak on it till we get there, but we'll see.
All right. What would you, what would you tell? You're familiar with most of the guys on this card, as we were talking offline. It looks like Dominic Dalton, who was scheduled to be the in the featured fight, is no longer associated with this one. But James Smith is on here, pretty good name or reputation in the Detroit area. Joseph Bonus is on there. I see Anthony Flagg. I've seen him before, and then Ernesto Garza III is a guy who's been on Showbox, who they added to the card. I hope his fight gets made. But what would be your message to anybody that's listening to this and might be on the fence about buying a ticket and showing up?
Yeah, so I definitely think you should purchase a ticket. Second to None Promotions have put on great shows, great competitive matches. Like you mentioned, Joseph Bonus. He's been a great sparring partner for me in the past. Very well boxer. So it's gonna be a great show. They always have great shows. The atmosphere is nice. The crowd is very nice. They always have a great crowd, and it's definitely a great night of boxing to come out to enjoy.
Yeah, and I think I like that they're trying to do, I believe at least 2 events per year, but I think they may have done as many as 3. But I like the team. And for anybody that is listening, if you're interested in tickets, you can contact them at 313-914-0017. I'm sure the tickets are pretty affordable, especially if you're hearing this soon or this far in advance. You should be able to put $20 aside for a couple paydays and won't set you back on fight night. And it's an extremely deep card, full of Detroit area guys. So I would definitely urge everybody to come out and support it. And then you get to see Miss Alycia Baumgardner return to the action to drop a bomb on Rolanda Andrews. My next question was what is your outlook for or what's the overall plan for 2019?
Overall plan is be victorious for one. Definitely let the world know who I am. A TV fight is going to be present, and hopefully another title shot towards the end of the year.
How many times? What's the activity?
Go ahead.
What's the activity this year? At least 3 fights, or?
Me personally, I would love to fight every other month. That's just me. So again, just talking to the promoter and my manager and seeing what we can fit in. Again, I stay active in the gym, so I'm always ready. So if we can do once every month, that'd be perfect.
I
love to fight. I love being in the ring and performing.
Have you heard anything about this? The Bella card that he's been trying to put together with like an all women's night that he's been. I've heard it mentioned a couple of times. I mean, it's still very early in the planning, but is that anything that you've heard about?
Yes, I've seen some things on the internet about this card. My thoughts on it is it going to be DeBella girls featured on this card? How is it going to be? Is this just for, again, certain female fighters, or are we actually going to put other females out there? Because, there's up-and-coming female fighters that some people don't know about just due to being promoted the right way. So
right.
I'm interested to see what females are going to have on this card.
Okay. Is that something though?
It definitely has to be good. It has to be really well, because I feel like when we're stepping up to that game, that limelight, we need to have a good card. So if you're going to throw a women's card, make sure they're good competitive fights.
Right. Is there any would there be any interest for you if there's a spot for there to be other fighters promoted by other promoters to be involved? Is that something that you would like to participate in?
Oh, most definitely. I think again, just being surrounded by the women boxers and just being in that wave, that it's perfect. I would definitely love the opportunity.
Okay. All right. So what do you think I seen the action in the gym seems to be changing just a little bit in terms of the strength training. So is there anything going on there? Is that a different direction intentionally, or what?
For me personally, I train. That's my work. That's like my work ethic. That's what I do on a daily. I just wanted to show the world more of my workouts and what I actually do on a daily basis. Again, this is my lifestyle. This is my job, my work, and I enjoy working out and I enjoy fitness. So just sharing that with my followers and my fans for people who follow me. And I like, again, I'm a competitive athlete and I like pushing myself. So the workouts have been very motivating. So just wanted to share with people and let them know, you know, we're working hard out here. I'm working hard, and this year is going to be very victorious for me.
Okay. Uh, got your color scheme together for this one, or this be a new fight kid, or something older, or what you thinking?
We're definitely going to go back with the white and gold.
That's a good
The
look.
fit that Adidas have made me, I love it.
Yeah, that's a
I
good
like
look.
the sequence on it's definitely blingy in those lights in the ring. So I'm gonna stick with those. I'm
Okay.
actually gonna do a contest tomorrow. I just hit 10,000 followers, a little over 10.2K followers on Instagram. So I'm gonna do a contest tomorrow, and I'm gonna pick a winner to actually design my next glove for this fight for February 23rd. So that's going to be a contest I'm going to be holding tomorrow
Okay.
that I'm doing.
All right. Well, I'm
Hmm.
sorry I won't get this out beforehand to let people know, but go ahead and get
Right.
your social media out there, and then I got one finishing question for you. I didn't want to hold you up too long, but let
Oh,
everybody
yeah.
know where they can find you.
Yes, you can follow me on Instagram at Alycia Baumgardner. You can follow me on Twitter at Alycia Baum, Baum. And yes.
All right, I see you on there working. I just left social media, so I'm only gonna be checking in. I took it off on my phone. I mean, all of my accounts and everything will still be, there, but I just won't be interacting and working at trying to do anything with them at the rate that I was because it wasn't getting anywhere. So I'm gonna pull back, but I'll check you out on the weekend though.
All right.
Hey,
Sounds good.
hey,
Thank
look.
you for having me
Oh,
again.
hold on. I wanted to know what were your thoughts on last week's more infamous AB from Ohio. What were your thoughts on the Pacquiao and Adrien Broner fight?
My thoughts prior, I love I like who Adrian is. Um, as a fighter, the fighter that we know that he can be, and just having high hopes for him. But I knew that Pacquiao would come out victorious, and just his character in and out the ring is so important to me. Just being a humble fighter, and I definitely seen it going the way it went as far as Pacquiao dominating AB, and yeah, I definitely seen that. Obviously, I feel like a lot of people wanted to see that old AB, let his hands go. And of course, he's from Ohio, so he gets my support from there. But definitely Pacquiao dominated in that fight.
Were you surprised that with the age difference and this seeming like a time to where Pacquiao might be a little vulnerable due to the age, us really not having a great idea based on the effort that Matisse put apart. Were you just kind of shocked that that the cards were that wide that Adrian wasn't able to do more against a 40-year-old fighter?
Right. So, for me, I feel like age is nothing but a number. And like Pacquiao, if you watch the Showtime Access, health is wealth. And I feel like he takes really good care of his body. And if you're able to do that, then you're able to perform well in the ring. Um, at that age, I think he looked, you know, pretty decent for a 40-year-old against a young AB. So again, I think that comes in with lifestyle changes that you make
Right,
coming into the sport and being dedicated.
right. Let me ask you this, and this will be the final question on it. I look at something like the All Access, and I look for details and different signs that I'm watching instead of just the bigger issue or the bigger images that they want you to see, the bigger stories that they're trying to tell. You're in the gym killing yourself and working out. I think one thing that jumped out to me immediately, I didn't see like an enthusiasm in the work that Broner was doing, and then some of his Instagram stuff. Did you catch on to that or have some questions about that? I didn't see an enthusiasm in doing some of the strength training and stuff that I saw him doing, and it kind of made me question, what we might see on fight night.
Yeah, I agree with you with that because, I had watched prior to some of his Showtime casings, and I thought in those videos he seemed more just humble and more determined. And so, but this fight, I don't know, I didn't get that feel. So I'm just like, okay. And then, him also not saying what he weighed in the next day kind of gave me a feeling, okay, like, how's this fight really going to go? You know what I'm saying? So I definitely feel you on that for sure.
Again,
and I think people were able to feel more and be more inspired by Pacquiao's story. And like he mentioned that he was happy that they were able to capture that. And just to see, a lot of people don't see that the in-depth side of what they do.
Right. And that was more for me is, I know that's his brand. I know that's Adrien's brand with money and, the rappers and all of that stuff. But I think, like I said, when I'm watching AllAccess, I'm listening more to Mind State, and I'm watching it work in the gym, and all that other stuff is kind of secondary to me.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's maybe what some people were like trying to look for, but they kind of got the same treatment as they usually do. So some felt it, some didn't. A lot of people share their thoughts that night.
Right. Hey, look, congratulations. Congratulations on the fight happening. And, it's good to see you working hard. I'll be in the building that night. I'm looking for big things from you and for a big start to the year. And just want to wish you the best of luck. And thanks for your time.
Yes, thank you for having me. Have a good night.
All right, take care.
Yeah.